The Showdown is not meant to cause offense or harm. The viewer acknowledges any reliance on the accuracy or completeness of said content should be done at their own discretion. The host apologizes in advance for any affront as a result of personal attacks.
Oh, Hannah Kaiser loves the Showdown. She'll even do it from the road. She's at the American League Championship Series. She joins us from Texas, Game 3 tonight. Hannah, welcome back. Good to have you on.
Thank you. I'm not going to go easy on you just because it's your birthday, but I do think that you should pantomime blowing out birthday candles if you think you have a good showdown.
It's like Bryce Harper came across. I need a lot more fingers than Bryce is using right now. That's the only problem. All right, Hannah, Phillies and Rangers both up 2-0. They both look great. They both spent big money recently. Is there a lesson here?
I think there is, and the lesson is just that we shouldn't let the big spenders who saw some of those contracts backfire convince us that you don't need free agents, stars to succeed. Going back, like looking at the World Series the last couple of years, we haven't had a World Series team since 2017, the 2017 Astros, and your mileage on they may vary, who was not a top 10 payroll. And I think that just goes to show that, like, even if you have a lot of really exciting in-house young talent, which both of these teams do, the Rangers in particular, you do have to supplement that with pieces that can only be gotten at the free agent market. I thought this was interesting, just looking into pre-arb players, so players who are very cheap relative to their production on these two teams. The Rangers have Jonah Heim, Evan Carter, Josh Young, Leody Taveras, Adolis Garcia. The Phillies have Alec Baum, Bryson Stott.
Can I jump in for a second, Hannah, though? Right.
Yes.
But as those players get older and they get more expensive, suddenly that's when you find the bloat, right? It's suddenly be like, oh, wait, but we've got all these aircraft carriers we've been collecting, including DeGrom. Now we want to keep Young, we want to keep Heim. We can't afford them. That's usually what happens.
But the reverse of that is, while you have those guys affordably, what are you doing with them if not trying to play in the World Series? And I think that's really what these two teams show, is that if you have young talent on this team, you could try to build around them with more player development, more savvy trades, or you can just say they're good right now, they're affordable right now, so we can afford to go out and bring in that sort of marquee starting pitching or a Marcus Semien and a Corey Seager and get those guys, those young, cheap guys, to the World Series.
I would just throw in, this is happening now. Philadelphia definitely spent big. They paid full retail. They don't care. We're going to pay top of the market. We'll do it. We want to get our guy. Texas went big, especially on Semien and Seager. Also, the top 3 teams in payroll this year, not in the playoffs. And we're kind of disastrous, right? So that happens too. All right, Trout versus Harper used to be a real thing. Then Trout put it out of reach. We stopped talking about it. Is that back now?
I don't know that it's necessarily back, but I do think that Bryce Harper's performance in the postseason in particular, and also the regular season of late, should make us maybe reconsider who the biggest star in baseball is. I think Bryce Harper is just a perfect baseball superstar. Mike Trout is incredible. This is not to denigrate Mike Trout's production or anything like that, but it is an entertainment product. And I'm not just talking about like what he does on the field with the pantomiming and all of that, but it's a really great story. This is a narrative industry in addition to an athletic one, and Bryce Harper really leans into that. I mean, he was talking after the game recently about his own sort of life and legacy coming up from on the cover of Sports Illustrated at 2016, knowing that he was supposed to be the first overall draft pick, and to be able to deliver on that now into his 30s is really interesting and really exciting, and the way he rises to the moment should make him our sort of foremost baseball star. I thought this was really interesting. So since he signed with the Phillies in 2019, Bryce Harper is 8th in baseball in WRC+, that sort of all-encompassing offensive metric. None of the guys above him have a better career postseason OPS than Bryce Harper. Not even Yordan Alvarez, and it feels like he's always hitting home runs in the postseason.
You know what, also I'll throw in, like Harper, kind of an original sabermetric thing was, you think you can, the top guys, they're made of sterner stuff and they will just deliver the big games, that's going to happen. And it's like, it's not true. However, it's kind of true right now for him. Like he's actually, as I think Carlos Pena was said it like perfectly last year. The playoffs don't happen to Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper happens to the playoffs. So I'll give him that.
That's the perfect way of putting it. That's the perfect way of putting it. And I just think, like, it's like there's a lot to be said for being productive over 162 games, but we want to enjoy watching our stars, and we want to enjoy watching them succeed. And rooting for Bryce Harper is just a really satisfying experience as a sometimes Phillies fan.
Oh, wow. You dropped that at the very end. All right, we won't get after you on that. You're allowed to like teams. You're allowed to like baseball and have favorite teams and that sort of thing. Very good. Hannah, thank you very much. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.